In this episode,
we have never nuked it before. We're going to nuke it to see what it does.
Yeah. Dude,
Like-
I can't even imagine the amount of damage all this nuclear testing has done. Like, over the amount of fucking explosions that we
We know
put out
exactly
is
what happened
wild.
to it. It created hentai.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
That's exactly where it came from.
100%.
in an obtuse world, Mark and Jefe will combine military, law enforcement, and general FUD knowledge to keep you vertical. Welcome to the Live, Laugh, Larp podcast.
Hey everybody, what's going on? Thanks for joining us on another edition of the Live, Laugh, Larp podcast. We surely do appreciate you guys swinging by, checking things out. We have a returning guest once again, which is always great. Naturally, we have the co-host Jefe. How you doing, buddy?
I am trapped in the back of my truck. Please send help or thoughts and prayers. I can't figure out how to turn my child locks off these things. There's probably a good reason why they're on, but I'm in the back of my truck in a parking lot recording a podcast. So it's about as good as I can be.
Yep, exactly.
I'm not forced to sit on a couch.
and get free beer. But Jefe is going to be joining us remotely. He is out doing hero things, which is awesome. And but we're appreciative that he's taken the time to be with us. First and foremost, you know how we do things, guys, man. First and foremost, we need to say thank you to each and every single one of you that is taking your time to listen to us. I think this episode's going to be a lot of fun. It's probably going to go on a lot of ADHD tangents, which is always a lot of fun, just like last episode with our homeboy Jake. But we also need to take a second to say thank you to XS Sights. They are the premier iron sight solution for your Glocks, for your PDPs, for your Smith & Wesson M&P 2.0s, for some type of variant of 1911, MP5s, AKs, ARs. If you need some iron sights, they probably have a solution for you. And if you want to capitalize on a 20% discount, you can do so by using the code LARP, L-A-R-P. That is our code to save you guys 20%. It's XS Sights' way of saying thank you. But we're not going to waste any more time. We're bringing on one of our favorite guests. That's Joe from Firearm Freedom. Joe, how you doing?
Hello and welcome. I'm doing pretty good, Mark. I'm glad to be here with you and Mr. Jefe.
Oh, yeah, man. Freaking last time we had so much fun just talking about so many different things. And naturally, we needed to have you back on. I'm glad that
it was a wild ride last time too.
Yeah.
We were all over the map. I like it.
Yeah, exactly. And those are some of the most fun podcasts to record. Hopefully this will be the same one. So again, Joe, hey, you reached out to me and said, "Hey, let me get on." And I'm like, "Oh man,
you're just putting me on blast." Like,
No,
I was begging. I'm not gonna lie.
you were not begging.
Just simping for some podcast time.
You know,
To talk about our Lord and Savior TRP operators and the gift of the 45.
100% accurate. I did want to get back on quite a bit.
Yeah,
it was a lot of fun the first time. You guys do a very, very good podcast.
Well, and that's the tough thing. You know the recording schedule of how you did things with your podcast. And sometimes it can get a little chaotic, especially when you're trying to figure out, how to get the schedule down, who's going to be joining. We always have guests. You always just did it with your wife.
I was going to say it was hard
awesome.
enough, just no guests. I can't even imagine trying to schedule all that with guests.
Yeah. So to have someone reach out and just be like, "Hey man, I need to get back on." It was perfectly timed. So
well, that's
seriously,
perfect.
thank you.
Thank
So,
you.
Talk about just real quick. Talk about your YouTube channel. You have been this is one of the things that I absolutely love about your YouTube channel is the fact that every Monday and Friday morning, I know
yes, sir.
that I'm going to be listening to one of your videos on my drive into work.
I appreciate that, Mark. I've been trying to keep up with a pretty consistent schedule now. Actually, after talking to you about that, not too far back, But every Monday and Friday, I drop a video 6:30 a.m. Eastern time. So, if you're on the other side of the country, it might be a little early. But my channel is Firearm Freedom, if anybody doesn't already know. And I post a variety of 2014 style gun content over there. I really think some of you might enjoy it. Shameless plug.
Yeah, absolutely. It's, kind of getting back to the roots of things and just allowing people to gather information as to your experience with a certain firearm. I don't know, maybe like a Springfield Armory TRP operator.
It has become my personality, I think, recently.
The only thing and I apologize, Joe, I'm gonna have to give you some critique on. We need to see more like laminated cards on your tabletop reviews with like philosophies of use and all that sort of stuff.
Man, bringing me to nothing
going
fancy.
on down.
Yeah, I would do it. I would do it 100%. I still occasionally watch a good old POU 45-minute video every now and again.
So he's on Instagram, and he doesn't post very often, but he's been on like a tirade about AI generated cats doing like he has one of like a AI generated cat wearing like a World War II flamethrower on an airplane. Like, I don't know what the guy's smoking these days, but his Instagram channels is absolutely hilarious to watch these days.
I didn't even know he had Instagram. I've never seen his Instagram. I was following him on Rumble for a bit, and then, I mean, of course, on YouTube. But like you said, he doesn't post that frequently anymore.
Yeah.
I feel like none of the old heads of GunTube really post gun reviews anymore. There's very few of them that do.
Yeah,
but
unfortunately,
imagine doing this since like what 2007, 2000, like even earlier than that, for almost 20 years. Like, I feel like you've hit all the guns, dude. Like, I don't think there's anything new you could talk about.
That's a long time, man. That's a long time. But yeah, the TRP has reigned supreme on my channel recently.
I'm here for it. You've influenced me.
Well, the weird thing is, it's also, my channel's become like a hub for shotgun content, and I never saw that coming. Like, I've always loved shotguns, but I never thought that my channel would start to be like some shotgun channel, but it's quickly becoming that too.
You know what I'll tell you real quick about shotguns is you're going to laugh at this, but I have over 200,000 views on a G-Force AR-15 style shotgun.
Oof. You really got that many on that one?
Yeah,
that's so many.
Yeah,
that's so many.
Yeah,
dude.
So
and it wasn't even that great.
No, it wasn't even a great video. I just threw it together. I think I shot what I don't know, 100, 200 shells through it. And it was just like,
always ends up being those videos though where you post it like, whatever, I'll just throw it up, and it's not going to get any views anyways, and that's the one that gets like 1 million views.
Yeah.
I mean, now I feel like since we're in the age of like Turkish shotguns, everyone's just divesting, like, are just like just devouring content on those Turkish shotguns, because they're like, which one do I buy? We were just talking about the Orthos Raider the other day, and every company has a Benelli M4 clone. So it's like, I bet you if you look at any sort of YouTube channel that has a M4 clone of any type, there's probably going to be a ton of views on it, because everyone's like, I don't know what this one even is.
Well, and surprisingly, I mean, honestly, all of my shotgun content, and I'm vehemently against Turkish shotguns usually, but when it comes to like just standard shotguns, it all does really well. I think there's like a surprisingly large market of people that really enjoy just good old shotgun content. But, it always, you never know what sticks on YouTube these days.
Yeah, for sure. What's coming up next?
Oh, man. Well, I have a plethora of videos, but right now I got 2 videos about to drop on the Scar 17 that I picked up. That one was a panic buy. That was like a total NPC, like Bass Pro Shop panic buy, basically. But it, that was one that was just a really good deal. So that I got a few videos coming up on. And then I have, a few random ones. A Winchester 190 22 rifle, which is like something no one's ever heard of. It's a totally random rifle, but that review should be interesting. And then what else do I got coming up? Oh God, the Thompson's coming back on the channel. Spoiler alert. It did not do well and broke again. So yeah, that was not those are the parts of having a YouTube channel that are just not fun. It was like pissing down rain and freezing, and the gun was just falling apart, and I'm like, okay, this is a blast today. So yeah.
Derail part 1. Did anybody else see Walther's announcement today, or like the past few days?
No.
They're discontinuing all PPK models and like the PP models.
Really?
What
yeah, like
dude,
all that shit that I just saw. I saw it like 2 days ago, and then Caleb was posting about it, like how upset he is, and then Commando Bond was posting about it, and that how he's like, they essentially. It sounds like they weren't ready to mass produce it in America just yet, so I think they're taking a pause, either updating the gun a little bit, as well as manufacturing practices. It just didn't seem like it was they just couldn't keep up with demand, because every time I tried to, I remember I had like a phase for a little bit where I wanted like one of the PPK SDs in 32 or 380.
Yeah,
and
I
you
have
just
a
couldn't,
Inner Arms one, the PPK from back in the day.
but you just couldn't find them anywhere. Like there was none of them. You would scour the internet, and like Gunbroker had them for like $600 over MSRP. So I think the Walther plant in Fort Smith, Arkansas. I think it's in
right.
Fort Smith. This decided like, hey, we need to kind of like put a break on this until we can figure out a better way to do this. But yeah, they're no longer. It's kind of like how FN announced they're no longer producing scars for the private market. Walther essentially said for all PP models, to include like the PPK, PPKS, even the PP models.
Yeah, well, I mean, the other thing, some might say a conspiracy. When it comes to this, I don't name where I work full time, but both of my jobs, one being here on YouTube and my full time gig, are within the firearms industry, and I'm on the corporate side of the firearms world in my full time gig. And the one thing that's very true about any announcements like this is the sales are off the charts on that specific model that they say is discontinued or whatever. So it wouldn't be too far of a stretch that if these companies were sitting on a certain SKU or product to just say, like, oh, we're getting rid of them, and all of a sudden, I mean, I watched it, like distribution levels on, say, the Scar went from 50, 60, 70 units per model to 0 overnight. I mean, that's like the power that those announcements have. And honestly, the industry is kind of dying at that level these days, and companies are getting pretty drastic on, like those numbers aren't great when you go onto distribution and there's like 1,000 units of, something just sitting there for months and months. So, I mean, I'm not saying every company does that, but it does sell a lot of products.
Well, it's weird because like gun sales are through the roof right now. Like I know we are like in a Trump era thing, but like gun sales are up. Like people are out buying guns, but no one's out. I don't feel like a whole lot of people are the kind of, I say, collectors, or the people that are like, I need a Scar 17. It's like I can pay $500 for a PSA, and I have a 5.56 rifle that works, or I can spend $1,700 to $2,000 on a Scar that does the exact same thing, that just looks a little different.
You might want to double that number, because
I mean,
Scars,
right now,
no, even before, Scars were
really?
like $3,200 to $3,500
easily.
Really, I didn't even know that.
They were dropping just before the announcement too. Like a month before, they were really starting to get low. I remember my boss actually picked up one for like $2,500.
Oh wow!
And like you could see them on Tax Swap pop up and stuff. Like they were definitely dropping, and then of course, as soon as the announcement hit, they like quadrupled in price online.
Yep.
Speaking of like price gouging, I saw an ad for a local gun store was selling. It was a discontinued Glock 2019 Gen 5 for $700 cash.
Oof.
Like the cash price for it. I was like, fuck, dude. I just can't wait to like I have a Gen 4 that I probably have close to like 12,000 rounds through, and that's probably like like a $700 gun still.
Yep. Yep. Well, and that's the other bummer in the industry is right now gun shops in particular are just really having a tough time. Gun shops are struggling a good bit, and I mean, more power to PSA, I guess, for ripping it up with the prices. But when it comes to local shops, they are just not able to compete anymore. I mean, ammo prices online are plummeting down, gun prices are plummeting down, and shops bought this stuff months ago when the prices were high, and people just don't get that. So their shops are really struggling these days.
Well,
Go ahead,
Mark.
I was going to
say the we just did this again. Hey, so I think that is true to an extent. That's like probably like a macro analysis, but like I know like our local gun stores are still doing great because most of the people that are buying guns much rather go to a store and look at it, pick it up, play with it, or go like I know I'm guilty of this. I rarely buy ammo online because the convenience of I need 100 200 rounds of 9mm, go to a local gun store and buy it rather than have the wherewithal to forecast ammo and purchase it and send it to my house.
Yep.
I don't know if that's an anecdotal thing or what, but
I mean, I'm
just going to keep on interrupting Mark, and it's going to be so much fun for us tonight.
How things go, yeah. Whenever I can, I try to purchase from American Cash Exchange. That's one of the local shops, the one that I prefer to go to.
Yep.
But also at the same time, though, if I have the ability to save some money on something that they don't have, then I'm definitely going to, buy online.
Yeah.
So a great example is I just purchased one of the like kind of series that I'm kind of working on moving forward is I'm going to look at I already did a video on the 3 budget rifles that I have, and of those 3, surprisingly enough, the High Point HP-15 was one of the most the most consistent of those 3 as far as its group goes. And it did kind of hiccup out of the box, but it seems to have worked some of the feeding issues out, or I guess it's the extraction issues. But anyway, the series that I'm going to work on is taking now like a kind of mid-tier rifle and doing a review on it, and then comparing that to the budget rifle, and then seeing if I can take both of those out to 1,000 yards and kind of get do some content that way, and then move up from there. Okay, I've got a rifle that's $1,000, and then go $1,500, and then we'll see if I can stretch the legs on $2,000. But my point is, the local shop had one of the newer Aero Precision lowers, which is the Aero Precision Pro, and that's their fully ambidextrous lower receiver. Looks really good, really good. Well, I had an upper that I had already purchased online, so I could have purchased the lower online as well, but the local shop had it. Might as well just go ahead and spend a Saturday pulling it together, and now I'm ready to go with some content. So, needless to say, that's kind of the direction that I tried to take when it comes to local shops or online. Kind of balance it a little bit.
Dude, I am so jealous of the yardage you guys can just like easily reach out to out there. This is like Pennsylvania. The one bummer with Pennsylvania is the fact that
it's Pennsylvania.
No, Pennsylvania, dude. I'll rep for Pennsylvania. I love Pennsylvania for the most part, but depending on which part of Pennsonvania you're in. But the bummer is I
used to live in Pennsylvania, so I have some opinions. But
what? No way! I didn't know that. That's cool.
For only like 2 years, but I lived at my dad was stationed there. We were at Carlisle Barracks, so
okay, gotcha. You were actually not too far off of the central part we're in as well.
Yeah, so I didn't like it. Did not have a good time.
I'm
Straight up.
sorry to hear that. I'm sorry.
Straight
to
up
hear
did not
that.
have a good time. I watched
That's
SWAT
okay.
there. That's the only good thing that ever happened in my life. I went to the movie theater and watched SWAT for the first time by myself.
That's okay. That's okay.
So.
What I was going to say is just the fact that the yardage, because of all the mountains in Pennsylvania, we just don't have a lot of flat visible area. And I mean, my range that I film everything at, the longest yardage is out to 300 yards. And we do have, there's 1 or 2 1,000-yard ranges in the state, but I mean, you're talking like 4+ hour drive to get there. And we don't have any of the BLM land in PA really until you get to like the northernmost spot. Yeah. So it can be a little bit harder to find places to shoot around here.
And that's the trouble.
Well, I'm gonna interject.
Yep.
Kansas has worse BLM land. We just happen to have
zero.
We have like zero BLM. We have like walk-in hunting, and that's really about it. And there's like a couple state parks that have a lot of BLM land, but the only the only counter argument is like just know like a farmer or somebody that has land, because everyone owns land around here, and it's easy to do.
Yeah, and for me, I take it back. I said 1,000 yards. It's actually going to be 1,000 meters, which ends up being about 1,100 yards, and that is actually at a range. But the downside to it is that is the range on Fort Riley, which means that I have to register my firearm with the provost marshal.
Oof.
Yeah. So
allegedly.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure the moment that I drive up, they're going to be like, "I need to see your paperwork on your rifle." You know,
range 4 go out to 1,000.
Yeah, 1,100 yards, 1,000 meters. Yeah,
mm-hmm. I think, but we can go. Hey, Tucker. I think Tucker has out to 1,000. We can probably go to Tucker's.
We'll probably have to shoot over I-70.
That's fine.
Oof.
That's fine. It doesn't matter. We'll be fine.
Yeah,
we'll be fine.
But now, to your point, Joe, about shooting distance, you go out to my property in Wyoming, and 5 minutes away, you're on BLM. You can, and it's literally 5 minutes to get to BLM land, and it's as far as you want to shoot.
That's cool.
Which is really, really cool. Yeah.
Yeah. That's exactly why in PA, any sort of distance bolt guns are just never a thing here. Like I also work part-time in a gun shop here, and like we never get them in, never sell them. And that's the case with a lot of the shops, at least in the central part of PA. Like you just don't see a lot of them here. I mean, there's still probably a small niche group of dudes that's into them, but yeah, I mean, I would say majority of the shooting in PA is like 200 yards and in, almost always. Yep. But sure. I mean, PA is
lever guns.
The most, PA is surprisingly one of the strongest gun states because of our constitution that we have. The state constitution, I should say. Yeah, a lot of people don't know that. It's totally Democratic central over here. But with that being said, the weird thing about PA is Democrats and Republicans, just everyone on all sides of the political party, love guns for the most part here in PA. So most of the left-leaning politicians generally don't even run on like anti-gun proposals because they almost never succeed at all. And then our state constitution says that our right to keep and bear arms shall not be questioned by the government, verbatim. Wow. So the big thing there that people don't get, like anytime a bill is introduced, it's basically just, are you questioning it? And obviously the answer is yes. And
you questioning
it always, yeah, exactly. It always just gets smoked right out the gate. So there's definitely a lot of shitty things about PA without a doubt, but the gun part is actually pretty cool here.
Oh, that's good. That's good to hear. I didn't realize.
I feel like wildly unprepared. I don't even know if Kansas, like what Kansas Constitution says about guns. I just know that it's that SNL memes like, so what should the Second Amendment be? Guns.
Yeah.
Lots of them. Have them.
Yeah. Solid.
We actually just we had a solid one today. We have a group chat for content creators and me getting ready to go to SHOT, and the argument was like, oh, should we go to range day? Like, what's even there? And it's just like,
Bro, no
guns.
one goes to range day anymore, man.
Hefe
Man, what
is
is that?
so like butthurt about it.
I'm not butthurt. It's just like any time, any opportunity to just go shoot guns for free and someone else's ammo. Like I think, like I had a blast. I only been to one. I can say that, like, and we went out to that and shot those long range, like $14,000 precision guns built like Detroit precision guns out to like 1,000. That was a ton of fun. That was a lot of fun. And I was, you're shooting, a $5 round. You're like, oh, this is a great time. I'm having fun.
Bro, all I know is that me and my brother that's coming with me that does my videography stuff with me are playing hooky and going to Angel's Landing in Zion on Monday when range day is, and I would much rather be at a national park than at range day, I think. Because that's what we did last year too. We played hooky on range day. It was well worth it.
Mark's been like, we should go to was it Lake Mead, Hoover Dam? We should go do all this.
Dude, yeah, we hit that last year too. It is worth it, Hefe. It's worth it.
They have ice cream and glizzies. Like, what else do you need?
You could bring a glizzy to the Hoover Dam, dude. You could throw it off the side of the Hoover Dam. That might be a felony. Be careful with that.
This is not legal advice. No, I actually have a very elaborate plan to enact to carry hot dogs on me at all times at SHOT Show, so I can save like $60. Because I think I probably spent at one point like $40 one day on hot dogs on the SHOT Show floor.
I bought a water bottle last year, and like I will never financially recover from just the amount that they charge for that shit at SHOT Show. It sucks because like you want to carry all this shit, but then it's like I'm walking 5-6 miles a day with like a rucksack on of camera equipment and free stickers. And I remember what was it 2 years ago when Jake was just like not stealing obviously, but like acquiring a bunch of those bags from Condor. He had like 5 of them at one point, just stuffed full of shit walking around. Little man satchels. Yeah, and then you got the patches, of course, because our bags are like filled to the brim. But we got yelled at a few. You can't just take them now. Now they make you do like little, like buy a ticket lottery thing to get the patch. I'm like, dude, I'm just trying to get the patch, man. Just give me the patch.
But it's that weird like underground patch market. I don't think it's as prevalent as it used to be. But like, there's people that's like, I have every Spirited System patch from SHOT Show since like 2021, and they sell it for like $700 on the used market.
Yeah, eBay, it's like used baseball cards for SHOT Show patches. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Like I have one like patch from Warm and Fuzzy that has like it's like the Medusa head lady, and like. I was looking at it the other day. It's like $120 on like the Facebook Marketplace, like the patch trading. You're just like, God. Jesus.
But, it's Joe,
fun though.
I mean, obviously, it sounds like you're going this year.
I am definitely going to SHOT Show this year, 100%. And a little bit of a shameless plug for my B channel, FF Lifestyle. I'm doing a majority of our like adventure vlogs on that B channel. So the other reason we're going to do all the exploring, the first part is I film all those and then put the like kind of behind the scenes stuff on that channel. So anything we do hiking wise, or we did a bunch of like just random, not the Vegas Strip things last year. Like we went to the Valley of Fire and Red Rocks and a few other places, and that was all on there. So I am 100% going this year, and we're good to go. We're doing the usual stuff, setting up the interviews now.
Good. Yeah, I started with interviews. I've got PSA lined up and Griffin's lined up. So
nice.
Yeah.
Access sites. Do we get them?
We haven't really solidified anything, but our buddy Jeff is on paternity leave until the
Oh,
1st.
well, congratulations! Like, if you Jeff, hey, if you're listening,
Congrats.
man, you did it. Congratulations.
Solid.
Yeah, I think we were talking. We were talking that on the show, or did we talk about afterwards?
I
A
think we
lot.
talked about it on the show.
I remember if we had the long talk out because this is what happens, and Joe, you know too. Like, we have like an hour-long conversation beforehand, then we have the 2-hour podcast, and then we like end up talking for like another hour, and we're like, ah, shit, it's like 1 o'clock in the morning. Let's go to sleep.
Yeah.
So
Well, and I'm like an 80-year-old because I go to sleep at like 6:30 at night. So yeah, doesn't make it any better on the scheduling for you guys. That's my bad.
I don't know if this is prying too much, but you have kids yet? Because that
I
all
do.
changes.
Yep.
Oh, okay, cool. Okay, never mind.
Yep.
I say
Yeah.
because I used to do that too, and then they go to bed at 6. Like, well, I get like an hour to myself now. This is pretty nice. And
Well,
I usually fall
dude,
asleep in the chair.
it's because I wake up at like the most ridiculous hour humanly possible because my like solo time is in the morning.
Okay.
My wife's has kind of her solo time in the evening, so we just like split it up like that.
Okay.
And you know, I my solo time a lot is the gym, and I just can't train at night. There's just no way. So I go at like I wake up at like 3:50, which is just disgusting. That's like a horrendous time to wake up. But you know, as a parent, you get like an hour free to yourself, and it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's like first of all, I want to commend you on your dojo, the doing karate in the garage. That's a fantastic setup. Every time I see your shit, I'm like, I look at mine and I'm like, man.
Yeah. It's a solid choice having the at-home gym. It's not too bad.
Well, and the Hefe, you were asking about, you know, if Joe had kids, but one thing that Joe also does have is a very spirited dog.
I have the most spirited dog, dude.
Spirited.
Oh my God.
That's a euphemism.
All right. So for the inside joke that everyone's probably curious about, I am a member now, part of the fraternity, maybe part of the order of the Shill Guild.
Yeah.
And in the Shill Guild, I continuously drop videos of my small female Boston Terrier puppy, and her name, she's not even a puppy, she's like 4 years old, but her name is Penny, and there's one pillow in our house, and that pillow, man, gets the fiercest sexual assault every evening. And it is like there's grunting, I get nervous, I have to wash this pillow every day, it's defiled the following day. It's like
I've called the cops 6 times, they don't do anything.
They don't do anything. They haven't separated them. It's really gonna end badly. But dude, she just humps the shit out of this pillow every night, and I don't know why, but it's hilarious.
What's so funny is we'll get a video in that group DM, and it's like Joe's showing a video of what he's watching. We're like, oh, look, he's watching the YouTube video. That's cool. And then he just slowly pans over.
Just going ham, dude. Going ham every night. It's the way she does it too. Like it's not just like a little, like it's not just like missionary. You know what I mean?
No.
It is like
doggy style
pile driving.
Yeah,
like just
angry.
absolute anger hump going on. It's like it's just not good. It's not good. So yeah.
It's
dude,
hilarious.
I think Rodrigo is right where I could have just a totally separate account of just videos of Penny, and it would just go 100% viral. Like I don't think anyone in my family would have to work again if we had just a side Penny channel for
Bro,
sure.
I about spit my beer out when you.
It's always no context too, which makes it so much better. Like everyone's having a serious conversation, and I just like no context, just drop that video.
Well, yeah, exactly, and that's what the channel should be. Penny without context.
It just nonstop, just videos of Penny, dude. Boston Terriers in general are just funny dogs. Like they just have fun. They're kind of like pugs, where every time you look at them, you just kind of start like cracking up a little bit. But yeah, they're solid dogs. She's a great dog outside of the humping. That's definitely it's a vice. Okay, it happens.
Yeah. So let's dial back to SHOT Show real quick, and just kind of slow roll this whole conspiracy plot that we're going to start working into. But I'm putting in air quotes conspiracy. What's your number one conspiracy of SHOT Show 2026? What's like
2026?
Yeah.
Oh,
So
man,
this next SHOT Show, what do you think is going to be like the big thing?
As in like legit gun related news.
Sure, or not, or whatever,
Because last year we had Grantham. Was that Grantham's last year? Like that whole thing, the saga.
That was last
2 years
year.
ago?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Huh.
I mean, I genuinely, I don't know. I'm gonna be honest with you. This might not. I got to be careful because this is not my platform.
Mhm.
The industry as a whole is getting very messy. Like it's getting very like I said, I think the industry is struggling right now. So they're doing a lot of things that, in my opinion, are shady and just like not hesitating at screwing people over to get a step up. That happens in every industry, obviously, sure. But the gun industry in particular, because it's so volatile with all the ups and downs, and we are on a little bit of a downward spiral. I wouldn't hesitate to say that more drama BS could easily happen at SHOT Show. I mean, I think that's a possibility.
Well, so I've been kind of like playing with that idea too that you just kind of talked, like kind of taking a step back and looking at the entire industry. Like we talk everything from like manufacturers, retail sellers, content creators, media, like the entire gambit of it. If you really like, it feels like it's ran by children a lot of times, or like young teenage people that just do dumb things, and it benefits them for so long, but eventually those chickens come to roost, and something bad happens. I feel like that's like it's like it's tale as old as time. Is every year at SHOT Show, someone does something because it's either funny, it's viral, it's on brand for X, Y, and Z, and it turns out to get either received very poorly by the industry itself or by the consumers or both, and it just implodes, and it's like crazy. It's a weird cycle because it's like these are as like guns are supposed to be like they're fun. It's a hobby, it's a sport, but it's also a very serious thing, and it feels like it's ran by children a lot.
I mean, honestly, dude, you're not too far off. A lot of people don't realize how small most the manufacturers are in size when it comes to just people on hand. Like, it's easy to see a lot of manufacturers and assume that they're like a multi-100-man team. And most of the time, like even these big manufacturers have like 10 dudes that are running everything, and half of them are Gen Zers to begin with. So, like, honestly, you're not too far off on what is. I mean, you have your like massive companies out there, of course, that have huge departments. I mean, the back end of PSA, dude, it's unbelievable the size of that company and the other companies like that. But for the most part, every other company in the gun industry is actually surprisingly small. There's very few of them that are big, and most of them are ran by kids, to be honest with you, in the grand scheme of things. So
generally immature people. Maybe it's a better. Generally immature people is probably a better term. And I want to say it's probably because like the talent pool isn't as deep as something like in finance or any other business or industry where you have like if you have a job opening, it's you have all these highly qualified, highly educated people like biting at the chomp for this job. A lot of I think in the gun industry, it's like I shoot AR-15s a lot, therefore I want to work for AR-15 company. I like no background in it, and a lot of people are figuring it out as they go along. But it's
Yeah.
the passion more than it is an educated, not educated, maybe that's not the right word, but like a more of a driven professional.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, I will say one positive thing about SHOT Show that I saw last year. Last year was my first year, so I can't really give like a plethora of information on SHOT Show, but I was very appreciative of the lack of the booth babe type of, gun bunny atmosphere. That was really none of that, which was really nice to see. Like, if you look at SHOT Show, 5-10 years ago, that was all it was. And, that has very much ended, which is, is nice. It's not really that like, let's just use over sexualized marketing to try to draw in the brothers, you know what I mean, into the sphere. And that was cool. Especially being in Vegas. That was actually my first time on the Vegas Strip. And dude, that is just, God, I hate the Strip. It's an absolutely disgusting place to be.
I think funny that you bring. Hold on a second, Hefe. I just wanted to mention that piece before we get away from it about like the chicks that would be at booths and stuff. Because my very first SHOT Show was 2018, and I went to PSA, and sure enough, they had 2 ladies in some pretty revealing dresses and high heels. And you would ask them a question, they're like, oh, let me get such and such over to help you, and they were down in the basement, and they're like stuff in the corner. And to see that change, and then obviously also, even if you hate PSA, to see where they have gone since I've been a content creator to now,
dude.
Is worlds different. So but go ahead, Effie.
I'm talking about booth babes too. I think the only company I seen done it correctly is Sparrow Lockpicks. Like 2 years ago when I went, their thing was they had their booth, and then when they went out and were teaching like the dance girls, like you go out the Strip, there's all the women like in the big like cabana or Copacabana like outfits with the dancers and everything. They were teaching those girls how to lockpick, and they were showing them like, hey, here's this lady that we found on the side of the street. Here, have you ever picked a lock before? And then they were like showing her how to do it with their tools. And it was that thought that was pretty cool. And then I do remember, I think it was our first SHOT Show in the basement. There was like a bullpup revolver that was coming out that year, or like someone was like had a concept of it, and like in the corner of the basement of SHOT Show. And we get there, and again, it's like 4 booth babes and like some fat dude in the corner.
Yeah.
I remember like talking to these girls. I'm like, hey, so like, how does this work? Where are you guys at production? And then it was the same thing. It was like they kept on going back to the fat guy, and he's just like shrugged. And they had like a 3D printed of this bullpup revolver, and like super depressed about it. That never came to fruition.
Dude, side point on the chicks that just walk the Strip in Vegas and like accost you trying to do whatever, you know what I mean? What was amazing to us when we were walking the street was like kids in strollers, like like family, like having a vacation there. I'm like, what is wrong with you people? Like they're just like this half naked chick is like one of 15 walking down the thing, like dude, you got dudes handing out like AVN cards with like straight uncensored porn on it and like all over the place, and like there's some lady pushing like a 2-year-old in a stroller. I'm like, this is the most bizarre place I think I've ever been. It's just, and
that's what sorry
no you're good.
Yeah,
you're
I
good.
was gonna say that's what sucks about it, because we are and I don't want to get like too much on tired, but we are a dying society where like family and kids aren't like included in anything these days because there's no one's having kids. So it like it's wonderful that there's a mom and she's out with her 2-year-old enjoying what the beautiful scenery that has been created around Vegas. Like, if you take the people out of Vegas, it's a beautiful place.
The surrounding nature areas were mint. It was really incredible.
Well,
it was
we're
just
gonna have
the
to go
strip.
see some again. Okay, you convinced me.
Yeah.
We're not gonna shot.
Do
we're not
it.
going to the range
do
day.
it. Yeah. Do
Thanks,
it.
Mark.
I'm telling you.
Hey, look. Here's the thing, and
I feel like you want to talk about conspiracy theories. Mark pushed this all fucking today on the group chat, and now he brings Joe on to talk about going to do all these wonderful things and not, go to range day and then go to the Hofbrau house and watch the same Melania Trump looking Asian woman slap dudes in the butt with a wooden spoon. Like,
Dude,
I feel like you're ruining shot for me.
All I'm saying is standing like 1,400 feet up on a cliff in probably snow is like definitely way better than that, I think.
Yep. And
probably.
Oh, by the way,
have you been spanked by a really crappily looking
I mean, I'm
Melania
down.
Trump?
I'm down with some spanking. Hefe, if you want to spank me, you can spank me. I'm cool
Oh,
with that.
I'll bring my spanking tools.
So Hefe, we are still going to be able to go to Hofbrau House. I mean, that's the tradition.
That's fair. We are going to Hofbrau House.
Yeah,
You already took range day for me, but I will stand firm on
Oh,
Hofbrau
no,
House.
no. We're not missing out on Hof. So we just need to figure out if we're going to do like a Monday night or Tuesday night, or see, try to get as many people as possible. Because I know that like Clay and Rachel, they had a blast at Hofbrau House. So
I'm so mad I missed that.
Clay, Rachel, and Jacob and Kyle, and then
and Joe. We can invite Joe and his.
Oh yeah, Joe.
You're welcome, Joe. By the way,
I would definitely possibly consider it.
Yeah.
So we just need to figure out what it is and go ahead and get reservations now.
Yeah.
So because it'll get filled up, and then even if you do have reservations, you'll show up like 15 minutes before your reservation time. You're still waiting 30 minutes to sit down, so
talking about a girl who recovered from, was it meth or was it crack? Remember that
either one sounds not great.
The lady at the souvenir thing, she was like, because she was from Kansas.
Yeah, I think she said meth.
Yeah, I think it was meth. She's like, I got really addicted to meth, and I came out here to like get away from it all. Like,
Vegas Strip is a good place to get away from meth.
And what's funny is this year, when Nan came with me, Kyle, Nan, myself took a Uber back to the house, and the lady that picked us up, same thing. She's like, I'm doing great.
I remember you saying that.
Yeah, she's like, I'm doing great. I'm 6 months sober. And I'm just like, what? And you're driving us? It's like, it's great. Vegas is quite the crazy place, so
yeah.
Without a doubt.
So, but speaking of Vegas, let's touch on some conspiracy theory.
The Las Vegas shooter.
Yeah.
The Las Vegas shooter. There's the Tesla thing in Vegas that happened like right before SHOT Show too.
Yeah, I remember that now. Yeah. I saw an article like just the other day. They're like, "Oh, we found some new stuff about this, but still nothing weird."
I mean, the whole thing was weird.
I know. It's like it seems weird. Like the stuff that happens in Vegas, it's like, well, it is Vegas. Like people do weird stuff there, so I don't know if this is.
Yeah. Well, dude, I actually just finished yesterday this book that's called what is it called? Tesla and the Pyramid, I believe.
Okay.
And it is pretty good. I was going to say super good, but I end up always overhyping something and disappointing people. So it's pretty good.
Oh, don't tell me that. The TRP is still good, right?
The TRP, I will overhype. I will overhype the shit out of the TRP. This book is very good, but it is super weird. It's actually about... It involves the first conspiracy that I have listed on my little note here about the true Adam and Eve story is the title that you'll usually find if you like Google search that conspiracy. But the book has now been touted on Reddit as like soft disclosure, because no one knows about it. It got published last year. The publishing company is called Monolith, and this is the only thing they've ever published. The dude, the author of it, is named Jenner Brown, and he doesn't exist. That's a pen name. That person does not exist at all. And then the things that they were talking about in the book kind of correlated to like real life stuff. Like a dude steals a Tesla truck, not throwing too many spoilers out there, but he steals a Tesla truck running from the CIA about disclosure stuff at a pyramid, and just so happens that a Tesla truck blew up at a pyramid in Vegas, kind of similarly close to that. And then there's a few other things in the book in regards to just little tidbits, like about a few weeks after the book got published, the New Jersey drones and orbs started floating around, which was just super weird based off of the story of the book. Like it kind of tracked. And then to wrap up the whole thing, it really feels like the book may have been written using AI. And it just like I could totally see it being an entirely AI thing. Like, aside of the person that actually published it, obviously. But
right.
It's a very good book. I'd strongly recommend reading it. But yeah, the first theory that I had listed that was crazy is the true Adam and Eve theory. But I should also note, I mean, you had already mentioned it a little bit, Mark, but to anybody listening, I had a conspiracy theory podcast with my wife called Freedom Foil. We dug into a disgusting amount of conspiracies over there. Unfortunately, the podcast is now sunset. We have no future episodes planned, but that's where I pull any information that I say, and it may or may not be true.
Yeah, it is true. That's why we're talking about it. Obviously. No,
about 90% of it, I'm just pulling out of my ass. So
no, it's very like the. So what is the theory of the true Adam Eve? Because I have some thoughts of that as well.
So it's all about. There's a Netflix show about it now. I can't remember the name of the show, but it's about the reoccurring apocalypse every 12,000 years.
Yeah.
The list that I have, the list that I have is like the most bizarre and horrifying ones. The Adam and Eve story was written by a college professor. It was just a study on pole shifts. But the weird thing about it is that it was under CIA scrutiny and was released recently. I want to say in like early 2000s that got released, but it was heavily sanitized. Like the CIA redacted a million things in this college professor's paper. And in the paper, he talks in length about that immediate pole shift. So not like a slow-moving pole shift, but a large amount of energy hitting the Earth at one time, causing the Earth to essentially go on like a bowling ball spin and the poles to shift dramatically, causing like 1,000-foot high wall of water flooding over the Earth, taking over continents and, all of those things. And the theory goes that we are a much, much older civilization than we think we are. And we are all suffering from basically amnesia. And civilization has this great flood and apocalyptic situation every 12,000 years on reset. So these crazy megalithic structures like the pyramids and all these other things are really from ancient civilizations past 12,000 years ago that were just flooded over in an apocalypse, and, we restarted fresh.
Yeah, because... Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. I go off on too many tangents. I gotta pull it back when I start talking conspiracies.
It's the because it's if you really think about it, like if you like for example, if we like something happened like right now, and we are teaching our kids like, there used to be a thing called like a phone and the internet. Here's my phone. This is the thing that we used to talk into. You could talk to anybody across space and time, essentially. at an instant. And then when our kids grow up, they're teaching their kids like, yeah, my grandparents used to talking to this stone tablet, and then their kids, if you just remove it like 2 or 3 generations, like
Yeah.
if we got rid of everything today, we would have the knowledge, but how much gets lost in like a generation, 2 generations?
Yeah.
It's definitely one of those. Yeah, there could be a great flood, and we had a highly advanced civilization. Within 2 generations, we're back to Stone Age because no one knows how to do anything
Yeah.
or figure it all out again.
Yeah, well, and the fun tidbit on the book that I was reading, small spoiler, not too much, but the little Easter egg, they found basically a 12,000-year-old photograph of Atlanteans from Atlantis.
Yeah.
And instead of looking like weird or whatever, they looked like us, like dressed in like, our clothing that we have now, but like slightly futuristic looking.
Yeah.
And it was a fun little, thing that basically like we were the Atlanteans, just a little bit more advanced than we are now before the reset happened. And that's not what the book said. That's just what my, assumption is of the photograph. But yeah, that is the title of the college professor's paper. He doesn't necessarily discount anyone's religious beliefs or anything like that. That was just the title of the paper.
Yeah. There's another author that kind of did something similar. It's a high fantasy book. It's an author called Terry Brooks, and he does very similar. Like he it's one of those, you read the first first 6 or 7 books, and it's really weird because they talk about a great war, a civilization, and they're back in medieval times, with like swords, bows, and fighting spiritual creatures with magic. And he wrote like 12 of these books talk about the Great War, and there was a great fire, and then the War of the Races, all these things, great tragic things happened, and then everyone just kind of like moved on with life. And they talk about ruins a lot, but he doesn't give like a whole lot of detail that explains why these ruins are there. And then he rates like 4 books about like the mid 90s, where a great like nuclear war essentially happens because the world gets overran by like demons essentially. And you're like, oh wow, so this is like Oregon. We've been in Oregon this entire fucking time. This is why this is the way it is. It's super cool. Like, just think again. It's scary at where we are at right now, because if you because we're close to that 12,000 year mark right now.
Yeah, I think it's like 2040.
Yeah,
possibly somewhere around.
And then we have things like the Aurora Borealis going all the way down to Florida. That's not good.
Dude, you guys were posting about it, seeing it in Kansas and shit. Like the day I was reading that book, I'm like, oh no.
That's what it's so funny because everyone started like, wow, you can see the Borealis. I'm like, my optics, I need to go take the batteries out quick. Like, I panicked. Yeah. Like I was at home, getting ready for work, and I was just kind of like messing around. I wasn't even paying attention, and Mark sends me a picture of the Borealis. I'm like, that's weird. Like, what are you looking at? I thought it was just like Fort Riley doing something. And then my wife says like, hey, I guess we can go outside and see the Borealis right now. I just get up and I start taking like batteries out of shit around my house. It's like, no, not like this.
Yep.
And
yep.
It is that, and then was it just like earlier this week they I can't remember who exactly what organization posted, but there's like a European-sized anomaly in our ionosphere that's just hanging out. Like, there could be a hole in our magnetics.
Yep.
Like, it's like
there's a bunch of weird space stuff going on, dude.
A lot of weird space stuff, and then we have a comet going by and saying, "Hang tight."
Yeah, I mean, it'll probably miss us. I mean, might hit Earth and destroy everything. But
it's funny you bring that up, because the night before last, I watched Deep Impact.
Such a banger. Dude. Another one, The Knowing. The Knowing is also an excellent apocalyptic Nicolas Cage movie.
Oh, yes.
Very good.
That one.
If we're going on conspiracy theories, there was like a a report where some people they found like radio frequencies coming from 3i Atlas and had AI translate it, and it was like, we are from future, or we are same as you, we are come in peace, hang tight guys, we're on our way. And you're like, yeah, I don't think that's what it said.
Dude, anymore, I do not. I think AI is going to be the beginning of the end. Quite frankly, that's what I think.
If we want to talk about more media, like there was a TV series called The 100. I think it was a book series first,
Yep.
and then a TV series. And the entire premise is that this guy, there's like two factions on Earth. There's like these guys that made AI like to be like conscious and sentient, and these other factions like, we are the third rising of humanity. This AI is gonna ruin our lives, so we're going to build this underground bunker and survive. And turns out, like the first question they ask AI, which if you watch any sci-fi, this is not what you tell them to do. They're like, "Hey, great AI, thanks for being sentient, wonderful. Can you end human suffering?" Like, okay, send all the nukes. We're gonna nuke everybody and kill everybody.
Yeah,
And that's like the first thing that happens. Like every sci-fi movie, it's like it's AI finds unique and creative ways to help humanity by ending it.
yeah. Every time, dude.
Every
I mean, it's happening right now. You see those new robots that are pre-ordering shipping they'll clean up your house. Like
No.
it's like a standing robot like that walks around your house, like Bicentennial Man, like walking around picking shit up and like folding your clothes and stuff.
Like straight up iRobot.
Yes. Yeah, it's like Boho or something like that. They just dropped. I saw it as an ad. I thought it was fake, but it's 100% legit. It's like $4.99 a month to like rent this thing to like walk around your house and like pick up your shit. But then they say something super weird. They're like, and one of our team members can remote in to your robot to help it complete a task. And I'm like, oh, so this thing you can just remote in and just watch everybody doing what they're doing all day. You know what I mean? And it's just super weird.
Anything going wrong with that?
No.
It's probably super good, accurate. Dude,
I mean,
what if it murders somebody? Who's at fault? Is it somebody like, you know what I mean?
Well, we make fun of it. And we're like, wow, I'll never do that. And yet we have phones in our pockets that are essentially doing that 24/7. We're like,
thing.
It's the exact same thing. It just fits in your pocket. It doesn't have arms and legs.
Yeah. I guess maybe just at least you can get it to fold your clothes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If it's going to be surveilling you anyways.
Yeah, if someone can remote in and watch my camera right now as I'm laying in the bed of or in the backseat of my truck, wrapped in a blanket because it's fucking cold in here. Like it doesn't really matter if it. I would much prefer if it can like make me a sandwich while it does it at least.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's be polite. Like at least pull my hair when you fuck me in the ass.
Yeah, exactly. Well, so I'm looking to my left, and I don't know which direction. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna name the 4 other things I have on my list, and you guys just whatever one you're thinking you want to pick my brain about or whatever. I have The Finders, Operation Northwoods, the MK Ultra National Anthem video from the 1960s, and then of course we cannot be complete without 9/11. So, there's.
I'm going to touch on 9/11 real fast. Did anybody see how Asmongold suggests they fix the Call of Duty series?
No.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Oh my God, it was so good.
So
good.
So background: Black Ops 7 apparently sucks. The story campaign sucks. Asmongold was like a famous World of Warcraft streamer, and now he does a bunch of other games. And he was like, "Here's how to fix Call of Duty. It's going to be so great. Early 2000s, Bush, Cheney. You are like, you are operators. You're operating in the Middle East. all this, these early 2000s, pre 9/11. He's like, you're doing all this, you're uncovering these conspiracies that everyone gets like goes on this like 5 minute tangent about all these different campaign missions of and then we identify hijackers that are going to like divert planes in the World Trade Center, and you divert them, and you're like in the mission, and you save the pull away the last second, and everyone's saved. And he's like, and then you watch the credits for like 5 minutes about all Treyarch and everything, and then the final scene that you see is the tower still falls somehow.
Not bad.
I was like, yeah, that's
solid.
Solid. It's one of those. I probably butchered it. It's a lot funnier to hear him go on the tirade because it's like a 4 or 5 minute tirade of like all these cool mission ideas and finally saving 9/11 or preventing 9/11 from happening. But and then when you talk about the finders, is that the CIA with kids? The FBI found out CIA was stealing kids and raising them to be like feral.
Yes, for the most part. Yes and no. Yeah, a little bit of everything there.
Yeah, that is so. I think we've talked about it before. Is it the Finders Papers or the Founders Papers? I can't remember which.
Finders.
Finders.
So it started off as basically a cult, supposedly. And the cult was caught up in the 80s Satanism thing, when Satanism was kind of booming and a lot of people were getting arrested for ritualistic abuse that was going on, and it ended up having to need an entire committee about satanic ritual abuse. And these people had like a communal thing going on where there was no one parent to every child. Like everyone was parenting every child, if that makes sense. There was, no one owned a child anymore, if that tracks. And there was a bunch of sexual abuse and a bunch of abuse of kids, and the authorities started to get involved because they got pulled over with like two guys got pulled over with about 6 kids in the car, and like you said, they looked totally feral, like just not taken care of at all. Mm-hmm. But the plot thickens when a few of the members of this actually were traced to the CIA, working for the CIA, or, the CIA claims they were just like doing administrative things or something like that. But that's how the story begins. Yeah.
Well, it's imperative everyone knows this is the FBI saying we investigated this weird thing happening, and we found out the CIA was doing this. It's not like it's not like some guy in his couch 20 years later is like, I pulled together all these things and look at all these strings, and it turns out the CIA was doing this. Like, no, the FBI is like, hey, we investigated into this, and it turns out it was the CIA. It's like, it's a few times like, hey, we investigated ourselves, and maybe we fucked this up.
Yeah. Well, and dude, the brutal thing about the Finders situation is how it ended. Mm-hmm. The FBI and the CIA basically just said like, yeah, no crimes are committed. Everyone, it's no one's committing any crimes. We're good to go. Yeah. And no one got arrested. No one got picked up. It was just completely brushed away like nothing at all had happened. They're like, we did our own internal investigation and found that no problems occurred whatsoever. But I bring up that one a lot because it is the one verifiable proof that our own government is involved in sexual trafficking of children on all sides of the aisle.
What was just came out recently where like there was a hotline for if you were a migrant child like placed in temporary housing for whatever reason, there was like a hotline for you to call, and it was like 15,000 missed calls on that line, like not a single one responded. Like they set up a line and just unplugged it.
Yeah, it's not great, dude. It's pretty bad. That one was rough. When me and my wife did an episode on that, Mary had a tough time with that one because the details of the kids are quite graphic when you look into the actual. Like a lot of people don't know this. You can go to the CIA .org website. They have a website, and they have an archives. So the FBI and the CIA have an archive room virtually that houses all of the FOIA request documents. So you can search those in the inquiry area and then find anything that has been released under FOIA and verify it there, which is a wild, wild place to go searching around. You really got to be careful what you're searching in the CIA reading room.
That's awesome. So what about you said MK Ultra National Anthem? Was that two separate things?
Can you hear me now? Okay.
Yeah. I got it.
Okay, so no, it is not well, I guess it's kind of two separate things, yes, but it's something that not a lot of people know about. So you can find, I don't know, I know you guys are going to be way too young for this, and I am far, far too young for this, but in the 60s, when television had a specific end time, where,
the Indian and the national anthem was playing.
Exactly. Yeah. So at the end, I think it was around like 9 p.m. or something every night. Television, because it needed to be like physically broadcasted by somebody, would end. And on the end, they would play the national anthem. And when they played the national anthem, it wasn't just like the song. It was the Statue of Liberty, the flag flying, and 1960s style frames flopping back and forth. And they also had the lyrics to the national anthem go up on the screen verse by verse. You can find this original video, and it stopped in like 65, I think, somewhere around there. It was a very long time ago, and if you actually slow down with our modern technology those frames, frame by frame, you'll notice that as the words transition from the one verse to the next verse, and another layer of words flicker into the screen with the letters as they transition. So the government at the time, this was all during the MK Ultra thing, was actually throwing subliminal messages into the national anthem verses on the screen.
Huh.
What's it?
For what? Why would they do that to us?
Yeah. Right. So the interesting thing is what they were saying. They were saying one of the lines was "Obey government God," like it was like do not disobey commands, obey what government says, like shit like that. The entire national anthem was those words, and the reason why they did that is they figured out that when we watch television at the time, especially because that was the only thing that we had, our brains go into a state that allows us to receive things in them without us really having knowledge of it. If you take that with modern day and we look at it from a marketing perspective, that's why we are so subjective to any style of marketing. You go into the supermarket and you see your mind is consuming things without us even knowing it, kind of like a they live type of situation.
Yep.
So that's happening all the time. There's a very real psychology by it. But specifically when we consume like media like that, and nowadays it's like on crack with social media, our brains go into kind of like a state where we're really like, it's almost like a hypnotic state. You're just not really paying attention at anything. You're just kind of zoomed out. We call it doom scrolling. That state in particular, you're able to receive messages much, much, much more easily without questioning them, is what the science showed. So at that point in time, the CIA was experimenting as all of the anti-government things were going on in what they could do with that national anthem thing in particular. You can still find the original video. It's out there. I could probably get a quick quirp if you guys talk for a second on what the words actually say.
Yeah. Now a word from our sponsor.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, hold on. I'm Googling. Hold on.
Yeah.
Well, it leads into the episode. I mean, the episode that, not my favorite, but one of my favorites from the Freedom Foil podcast was the MK Ultra, and just listening to Joe and his wife go back and forth on why would the government actually do something like this, and how legit is this actually? Were they able to accomplish it? Just that whole episode was pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, we know why they would do it. Like it's one of those. And we without going too much on a tangent, is anybody familiar with the Libs of TikTok channel, or like who that entire thing is?
Yep.
There's a new one called EBT of TikTok, and their big thing is talking about it's showing all like the whole like the TikTok channels that are like, if you take my SNAP benefits, I'm gonna like rape and pillage and murder people because I need to eat my food, and the government owes me money. That's just my money. I deserve it. And like the entire time, it's like overlaid with the messaging of do not feed the animals, for they build like a dependency on it. And so like where I'm trying to get with that is it feels like the government, like more and more, is trying to build a dependency on them. So when it comes to decision making processes, a lot of people are like, well, the government should take care of me. This shouldn't be my problem. It should be somebody else's problem. That other person's problem should be government. And they're willing to give away so many rights and freedoms and whatever they can give away for that luxury of someone else is going to take care of it for me.
Yeah, without a doubt. I was able to find the video. The big ones that are commonly said from the video are trust the government, was what one of the lines is, and rebellion is not tolerated. And I believe the other one was trust in government God. So there's a bunch of fun little, very bizarre, like very, very bizarre things in that video.
Well, didn't it was another thing. I can't remember whose quote is saying it, but it's and if you read like, I don't want to be like pedantic or anything, but like in 1984, everyone had those TVs in the room, and like they just were glued to them, and it was like, trust trust government. We wouldn't lie to you. We're always watching. They were just messaging this entire time. And then there was somebody's like, I can't remember. I don't know who's attributed this quote. It's like, if Orwell only knew we did it voluntarily and we keep it in our pockets every day now.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, it's rough, dude. It's a very weird thing, and again, the main reason why I like that one, that one's a little harder to, when we mentioned that a little bit in the podcast episode we did about MK Ultra, but it's really hard to talk about that because you need to kind of just be like watching the video. When you watch it, it's like, it's super creepy. The few people that I've showed it to that have gotten the chills a good bit. It's a very weird video to watch. Just talking about it sounds like, oh, okay, that sounds ridiculous. But when you see it, it's pretty wild.
Because it sounds like, it's the what's the like the whole Lion King thing. It's like they put sex in the it feels like that, where it's like, oh, if you like squint your eyes, and like, I haven't seen this video at all, but like I'm like, oh, if you probably squint your eyes, turn your head to the left, and turn your clock forward an hour, you'll see
those are a little.
Those
are definitely a little more ridiculous. When it comes to this one, it's very blatant. Like, it's the way that they flicker the lyrics, the words are more so in the way of, like, I don't know if you guys have seen I don't know how to really explain it. The old school where each individual letter in the word just like kind of does a little like flip to the next, thing. It does that. And in between those flips, there's a different word. Like there's very clearly a different word when you slow it down. Obviously back then they wouldn't have had the opportunity to slow that down on TV. But I bring that up all the time because if you think about them messing around with that then, and that, they thought it would be successful enough to dick around with it at that time, imagine what they're doing with social media today and the shit that we consume nowadays. And, that's the scary part of that one.
Well, it's what's even scarier is like how blatant it is sometimes. Like, I know that it's on both sides. Like the amount of times influencers will get sent to the White House, like these big social media prominent individuals, whether it be Republicans or Democratic supporters. They're sent to the White House. They go there for like a little bit, and they come out and they're like, "Oh, I talked to everything's okay, guys. Just trust, just believe what we're saying to you is correct." And you're like, I don't feel like I feel like that makes it worse. You probably,
yeah. Well,
and I mean, say that,
not at all to dive into this train of things, but in the way of just media. If you look at the prevalence of adult-related media nowadays, one could assume that would be a huge, massive outlet of pushing specific agendas because you're more susceptible to believing things in the almost hypnotic states when it comes to adult media, social media, movies of today, short form content of today. All of that shit is
buy a TRP operator.
Not great.
Buy a TRP operator.
Yeah.
Sorry, what?
That I would probably do. I would sign on for some MK Ultra TRP action. I would do that. I would take that challenge.
Yeah, it's just like why can't we have why can't subliminal message be fun? Like, hey, you deserve that pizza, man. Hey, go for that 6-mile run. Hey, knock out 20 push-ups real fast, brother. You got this. Like, nothing like encouraging. It's all, doomy and gloomy. Like, can't we just have some fun propaganda for once?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, dude, the deeper you go down the conspiracies, man, it gets a little, you gotta try to reach for some light occasionally. But yeah.
So when I'm part of the CIA and I start doing a subliminal messaging program, you know what? I'm gonna tell people to do more push-ups or something. I don't know. Knock out 20 push-ups real fast.
Hey, have a good day today. Is your subliminal messaging?
Yeah. Hey, you're a wonderful person. Don't forget that. Just
solid choice.
Just be overly optimistic with your propaganda.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that would be a nice change.
The conspiracy theory that I absolutely love, and I don't even think it's a conspiracy theory now. I think it's been proven 100%, is the CIA's attempt to discourage the Soviet Union through the artist Jackson Pollock.
Yeah.
That blows my mind, because growing up, going through art appreciation in high school and then having to take a class in college, to meet your humanities credit.
Yep.
Jackson Pollock, even in those classes, was regarded as someone who was doing something completely out of the norm. Here in the United States, we're these classes were perpetuating this lie that Jackson Pollock was actually a talented artist, when in fact he was being propped up by the CIA to discourage the Soviet Union artists. It's ridiculous.
Well,
it's not ridiculous.
All the time, dude.
No, it's not ridiculous. What is totally above board, and I don't know why we question it at all. Hunter Biden selling art for $250,000 as a piece to.
I mean, it tracks. It
tracks
for sure.
That's above board, but that Pollock guy, fuck him.
Yeah. No, dude, I remember like reading it's not a great place to get information, but reading like one of the reels or memes about that dude, and it was very interesting for sure.
It's for me, like a lot of conspiracy theories, like there's some that you're like, wow, like you, as you talked about, you can go like into these very dark places and find this information that will just make you like lose faith in humanity. And then there's Reddit, that's even fucking worse for some reason, but it's just so much fun to go on because you're like, wow, and all the like majority of these people vote. That's what even hurts the worst. Like you go on Reddit, just have that in your mind. You're just like, oh, okay, well, this tracks on why things are the way they are.
Yeah, dude. I have begun to think that there's like a strong possibility with me pulling completely unfactual information out of my asshole that both the Russian and the United States side were actually working together a majority of the Cold War. I find that an interesting theory because if you think about it, the only people that really got the shit end of the stick out of the Cold War in both Russia and the United States were the citizens of Russia and the citizens of the United States with massive Patriot Act level, overarching government with both the KGB and the CIA. And both of those organizations using the other one to further their own control over the citizens in the country that they were in,
and
which is kind of a crafty thing.
And on top of that, like just think about because another scary thought to have, and this is what's and it's probably more U.S. than it was the Soviets at the time. Who was making nuclear weapons for the U.S. at that time? It was private contractors. It wasn't like a government agency. It was private organizations making the Minutemen programs. It was all contracted out. So like the arms race and the amount of money these organizations got during the Cold War, it's just like is outlandish. So it does like solidify the fact that hey, the reason why we are doing we need to have the Minuteman program, and you need to have these MIRVs and intercontinental ballistic missiles is because Russia has them, and you don't want to be bitches, do you? So why don't you give us like billions of dollars to make these things for you?
Well, and that's how it was. Like the entire Cold War, it was like, well, they're doing that. We can't let them do that. So we got to do this, And then the other side was like, dude, they're doing that. We got to do this. You know what I mean? It was like a constant battle. And just like Orwell, whenever there's a war going on, the people are the ones that lose in those situations. And, I mean, shit, anybody that had anything going on that the government didn't like at the time, well, you were a communist, so we're going to haul you away to wherever the hell they hauled you away to, and, that was the issue. And it was the exact same for the KGB. So that was a very interesting look. Again, there's nothing, like there's not a specific theory that points to that. That's just my own nonsensical mind going haywire a little bit, but yeah.
And to continue on nuclear bombs in USSR, the Tsar Bomba was dropped like at a during that time of like a nuclear testing. I really wish I had this in front of me right now, and I don't. I was listening to another I think it was like Tales from the Underworld or something, like some weird channel talking about how there was these like these pillars that just show up in Earth, and it's like the reason why the Soviets is like some alien technology that the Soviets got so afraid of that like nuke it. That's why they nuke some fucking island in like the Arctic. It's kind of like how the same thing with like Operation Northwind. The reason we were nuking Antarctica wasn't just to see what it does. It's because we're nuking something.
Bro, you should look into Operation. I want to say it's Operation Fishbowl.
Okay,
I'm almost positive. And for the listeners, Operation Fishbowl was when the United States government just went ahead and sent nuclear warheads up into the atmosphere to just see what would happen, basically.
1962.
Yeah.
And when Columbus sailed the ocean blue and then nuked
Yeah.
the ionosphere and created the EMP
Yeah.
waves.
And it's funny because you think about all this like global warming bullshit and global cooling bullshit that's been going on for decades. Like that's a big deal, right? But the government sending massive bombs up into the atmosphere to destroy the atmosphere and send radiation across the world definitely had nothing to do with climate problems of today.
It's that's what's so funny. It's like, in the atomic age, we're like, let's nuke it, let's see what happens. Like that's literally what people were doing. It's kind of, we have no idea what's going to happen. It could end humanity. It could just be a cool science experience. We don't know. Let's just do it. And then, in the 90s, the ozone layer had a hole because people were using too much hairspray. Like,
yeah, the hairspray was definitely the issue, not
that
the
was the
nuclear
issue.
warheads that they shot up. Oh, dude, and I just pulled it up. There were 11 tests done. So 11 high altitude rockets went up, and the max yield was 1.4 megatons.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Up there, which is, I mean,
huge. That's big.
Some might say a large explosion in the atmosphere.
Well, it's just silly to think about, like, just talking about like how Trump this recently said we're gonna start bolstering our nuclear program, testing it again. How people are up in arms about that. Like they just shot like a Minuteman just to see what it does, because I don't think they've shot a Minuteman in forever. It's like one of the first testing of the Minuteman in a long time, and like people are up in arms about that. And like, guys, in the 70s, we were nuking everything. Like we have never nuked it before. We're going to nuke it to see what it does.
Yeah. Dude,
Like,
I can't even imagine the amount of damage all this nuclear testing has done. Like over the amount of fucking explosions that we
know exactly what happened to it. They created hentai.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
That's exactly where it came from.
100%. That's the most factual thing I've heard so far.
Like, we girl bossed a little too hard, and now it's socially acceptable to put naked anime girls on your cars.
I mean, it tracks. It
Yeah,
tracks. I think that's a totally valid response to like decades of nuclear explosions.
It's the same thing. It's like China. We had the opium wars with China, and now they're sending fentanyl across our border. We nuked the shit out of Japan, so now they're turning all our kids into like these brainwashed, ideologues that just consume anime and think that consume anime to like the point where it's where the amount of, I live near an active military base, and the amount of like Japanese racer cars I see around with like half naked or fully naked anime girls on it, that driven by some like 18-year-old kid puffing a vape wearing a Naruto shirt. You're like, Jesus, man, like what the hell happened to you? Like,
definitely accurate.
So don't mean to belittle our service members, but fuck, some of them are weird.
I mean, I think it's pretty safe to assume that the military now is probably a little different than the military like decades ago, but you would obviously know much more about that, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's weird around here. We can talk about that some other time, but
shoot, man, freaking it's different from when I got out in 2013, and then man, she works at Fort Riley, so the stories that I get just from her job, I'm just like, holy cow. It's
like I'm currently in the reserves. I did some active duty time, but now in the reserves, and just like, we're at our post government shutdown drill weekend where there's no money to do anything like that. This is half the reason why I'm in the back of my truck instead of a place to stay. So I'm like sleeping in my office, but our office, this is bestest ridden building where signal doesn't go anywhere. But the just the amount of like, I'm trying to find the most there's this. It's just different. I'm going to use the word different. That's the most politically correct thing I can say, I think, right now, because I grew up like growing up. my entire life, like my dad was active duty military. We did the jump around post to post. We did like I grew up in the military, and then it's like here we are. I'm at the tail end. I'm at like actually like 19 years now, and you're just like from being a child, being growing up and watching soldiers all the time and doing soldier things, and it was so much fun and so cool to being like now you're like wow.
Yeah.
Sorry, I went on tirade on that. Sorry, guys.
No, you're
What
good.
year is this?
Well, I wanted to hit something real quick. Have you guys ever heard about some of the radio transmissions that have been picked up by, well, not now, but this would have been like mid late 60s?
The Russian ones?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. So
those are super cool.
Have you ever heard of it?
What was it? The WoW? Are you talking about the WoW papers?
I don't know. I don't think it's the WoW papers. It's essentially what it was is two brothers were basically using a ham radio and started picking up radio transmissions from outer space of Russian cosmonauts that their missions went wrong. And they're basically listening to these cosmonauts die.
Oh, I'm thinking of a totally different thing, and your story sounds way cooler. So that's cool.
The wallpaper. I have the wallpaper, so I think you guys are even cooler than me right now.
I was thinking of the Russian dead man switch radio from the 60s. It was just like a constant like code beeping out on ham. But that's been like proven that it's just a dead man switch from like a nuclear warhead. But yours sounds sweet because I'd never heard anything about that. I gotta hear more,
man. So I found it on a reel on Instagram. So
yeah,
obviously take that for
100% fact.
Correct.
Correct. Well, it's kind of like that. It's like, hey, I found these golden tablets in the sand, and only I can read them. Feeling.
Yeah.
Dump, 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 dump.
It's almost like there's a Broadway play about that.
So,
but essentially what it is like I was saying, two brothers, they had their ham radio going again in the mid to late 60s, and they started picking up these transmissions, and they weren't really sure what was going on. So they started to record these transmissions, and the more that they recorded them, they realized that they were Russian. You could tell that they were Russian, but they couldn't understand what they were saying. And the more that they came across these transmissions, the more frantic these cosmonauts started to sound. And it wasn't just one. It was one for a few days and then nothing. And then, 6 months, 9 months, 12 months later, they'd pick it up again. And it would be someone completely different, to include a woman at one point. So they finally took all of these recordings and had someone who was fluent in Russian start to translate what it was. And once they figured out what it was, then obviously they immediately turned it over to the FBI or the CIA or whoever. And essentially the translations of what was happening was basically these missions were failing, and you could hear the cosmonauts say, I'm running out of oxygen. I don't know what's going on. I can no longer see the Earth, because they had rolled over and was looking away from the Earth. Ooh. And they were starting to panic. You can hear transmissions of one of the woman cosmonauts who was basically just begging for her life, that she didn't want to go out that way, and those types of things. And it was really gruesome to hear these alleged transmissions. Now, naturally, the Soviet Union denies all of this and says, no, these are fake. This never happened. But naturally, the Soviet Union could never. I mean, just look at what happened with Chernobyl. They never could be. They could never look like they had egg on their face. They had to be, stood up and proper. I just thought this is like a, I don't know, 2.5, 3 minute reel that I watched on Instagram.
That's
I was like,
crazy good.
Yeah,
dude.
I wish
that
I can find
like
it.
A movie.
I'm almost certain I'm almost certain that I can find it. I'll have to go back and look. I think I sent it to Nan, but I'll go back and look. And if I can find it, Joe, I'll definitely send it to you.
Yeah, I would definitely be curious about doing that.
No, I'm over here like, yeah, there's a guy who heard some radio transmissions from space and put "wow" near the piece of paper, like, and then I think where he heard, like, where that radio traffic came from is where Three Eye Atlas came from. That's about all. That's all I got.
I mean,
There's been
that's
the
still a
60s.
cool story as well.
No, that one's a little and I guess interesting. So I don't know, like, I don't know much about deep space radio transmissions, but again, some guy was using one of the big radios at a big university, like in the 70s, and again, it was just like, you could look at he has this piece of paper which is like picking up and printing out all the noises picking up, and then there's like a sequence in like prime numbers that just kind of comes out of nowhere, and he just circles it in red pen and goes "wow," and that's why it's called the "wow papers." And where that antenna was pointing at is generally where Three Eye Atlas is, like, it was originating from, like, based off of science. So soon, like, this is what I'm so mad about, like, the amount of people that said by November that thing will be, the spaceship Three Eye Atlas is going to be here, and we're going to be fighting aliens, and here we are. It's November 20th. No aliens. We just had a weird government shutdown, and it turns out to be a big rock, allegedly.
Dude, I'm trying to get some like District 9 going on. That would be a sweet
love that movie.
It's a banger of a movie.
I'm mad. I just was like looking at one of those the South African, like, battle, the South African battle jackets, I think they call them. Like, they're
the what are they? The SA-85 or something?
Yeah, AP just got a bunch of them, they look baller, but they're also 200. I think they were like 260 for them, for like the entire setup.
Yeah, yep, that sounds about right.
Yeah, so
no
District 9 for us. Too expensive. I'll give you like District 4.
I did end up finding some information on those cosmonauts.
What do you got?
It's on Wikipedia, of all places.
Can you pull up that for us, Jamie?
All right.
I know, exactly. It's called, you just have to Google Lost Cosmonauts, and there will be a Wikipedia page, and it says that the lost cosmonauts or phantom cosmonauts are subjects of a conspiracy theory which alleges that Soviet and Russian space authorities have concealed the deaths of some cosmonauts in outer space. Proponents of the lost cosmonauts theory argue that Soviet Unions attempted to launch human space flights before Yuri Gagarin's flight in 1961, and the cosmonauts on board died in those attempts. Soviet military pilot Vladimir Yeltsin was alleged to have landed off course and been held by Chinese government. The government of the Soviet Union supposedly suppressed this information to prevent bad publicity during the height of the Cold War. Right? So, and then it goes on and it talks about the allegations, and starts talking about confirmed hoaxes. So, I mean, there's a lot of information to cover in here, but the reel that I had allegedly had the recordings, so you could listen to it. So
that's kind of cool.
I'm still trying to figure that one out too.
Dude, sometimes Wikipedia pulls one out for a win. I don't mind Wikipedia. It ends up being a pretty good source occasionally, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Our podcast was almost entirely made up of Wikipedia research documentation.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, sometimes it's good, other times it's not good. You really it just depends on exactly what you're looking for. I mean, anymore, what is truth? You know, I mean, does anyone really provide truthful information? I don't know. You know?
Yeah. Exactly. And then of course how much of the information in like Wikipedia, which obviously is supposed to be quote unquote peer reviewed, and sites are supposed to be added or taken away or whatever the case may be, but how much of that has been influenced by, bad government actors,
Right. Right. Yeah, I would say a good majority of it. I mean, I don't I don't believe much of anything when it comes to politics anymore, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm a bad one to that's why I rarely talk about politics. I'll get into politics on my Instagram stories. My Instagram stories that I post are just a wild schizophrenic path that you're gonna go down. If you ever click on my stories, it's just like
Be prepared.
it is a wild ride. I don't hold back in my stories that often. Usually I'm just like reposting, but what I'm reposting is like a fun little trail through my mind and my algorithm that day. But no, I'm very jaded when it comes to politics, so I don't believe much of anything when it comes to information anymore.
Well, you bring that up because I was listening just a few days ago. Nan and I were in the car, and she made a comment about the most recent situation with Trump and Bubba, and all of that. And I'm like, what are you talking
All
about? She was like,
the fellatio
yes,
going
exactly.
on.
And she was like, oh, you don't know? And I was like, no, I don't know. She goes, oh, today it just dropped. And she was explaining it to me, and I was like,
Good old Donnie T.
yeah. I was like, uh, just on the sound, just on the surface of it, I was like, no way. There's no way. It's absolutely no way. We're talking about Donald Trump, who is a germaphobe. You think that he's going to be doing something like that? I can't. And it may very well be true, but my mind just cannot process that information as it being real.
Yeah. It's I would say at this point this is just my opinion of it. I think what's going on right now is they're purposefully going to put out wrong information about the Epstein files to discredit them further. So like more and more kind of ridiculous stories are going to come out, almost comical like that, and in turn it kind of discounts the actual truth of it. Kind of like a thousand untruths to hide the one big truth. But I do believe 100% that Trump had frequented the island like multiple times and knew the reason why I say that is because the Epstein files, the very files that they showcased like recently or whatever, like those were common internet conspiracy nerd knowledge in like 2014 2015. Like that was like a long time ago. Those started to like kind of like circulate on weird WikiLeaks like areas of the internet, and his name was all over those flight logs like back way before he was president or anything of that sort. That like it's not just Trump, all of them were on it. Like it's not a game of like whose side is on it more. Like everyone was on it. All sides were a victim of it, and that's why I think now you're going to start seeing like very ridiculous things to come about because they're trying to discount like just everything about it because it impacts them all. Like there is no one that's going to get out of this thing when it comes to the Epstein stuff.
Well, what's interesting to like the one thing that I have a hard time with them potentially releasing it. I'm using the air quotes because I don't know what the hell's going on these days. Is like the outside of like Western civilization, like because like fortunately we as a society have deemed like this is inappropriate behavior. There are some other cultures that haven't deemed this as inappropriate relations, and those are big oil trading partners with us. So, um, like one of the theories if you're talking about conspiracy theories, is that the reason they don't release the list is not to like not save any politician or anything, but if this list comes out and there's like a mass, like, I guess, boycott on on oil from a certain area that's kind of in the middle, kind of in the east, that frequented Epstein's island so many times, because in that culture it's not illegal. It's actually like pretty normal. Um, because we have this weird tendency of just thinking like in our bubble, in our small like portion of the world, this was happening, and it is terrible. It's atrocious, and who was on that island doing whatever that we're doing needs to be held to account. But there's also a global. It was a global thing. It wasn't just us, this U.S. or U.K. or European allies, that we also have to kind of take into account too. So I would believe that the smoking gun is not just like our politicians, but global politics as a whole, and the destabilization of like that kind of whole world order. Whether
Yeah.
you want to talk about like the new world order, or like the what's it the liberal economic order, won't let that happen, essentially.
Yeah.
So
Well, and I think the other really fucked up thing about the Epstein stuff is that, more importantly, it's not just an age thing. Like that, obviously, many cultures have many different,
rules.
rules and messed up things about them. But more importantly, it was the ritualistic abuse going on. Like it was not, it was very much a satanic ritual abuse, using sexual exploitation of children and rape being involved in that. Like not a, very clearly the biggest issue that I have with all the stuff that breaks about these politicians is it's not just like, oh, she was 17, gonna be 18 in a month, and it was, I didn't know, and she looked like she was 30. Like we're talking like 5-year-old kids like being tormented, abused. I mean, I have I have some wild information that was presented to me, and it's from a source that I actually do have to be a little bit careful about,
Yeah.
because this source that I got it from actually has been there, done that in taking child sex trafficker heads down.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a very unique conversation of an eye behind the good guys, if you will, that are actually, you could say, like hunting these people, in a way, and hearing the actual ritual abuse that's going on was hard to even fathom. Like it was pretty rough. I mean, geez, all of us have seen all of the wild parts of the internet gore that's of today, and hearing that from this individual, the full extent and details of the abuse, even left me kind of like stunned. And when you hear shit like that, and you realize, this is the part, like you said, Mark, where it begins to get like hard to even like realize, like wrap your brain around, that these people that are in government right now, like actually maybe and probably are participating in this, is unacceptable to me. Like beyond words, that's why I have an issue with politics, is if both sides of the aisle are playing on this horrendous ritual abuse of children, I will not support that situation, and then you can trail off into who can you trust, if these people on both sides of the aisle are breaking as being part of this ginormous blackmail ring. Not just a blackmail ring like, oh shit, he was good old Bill was doing coke, but blackmail ring of like, oh shit, that guy was like raping a little kid, with satanic rituals around it. I mean, that's, it's a different thing entirely. It's pretty next level. And like you said, Hefe, I think it destroys world politics.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's because like just even, and we've seen it time and time and time and time and time again. The liberal economic order is going to win out, and like so that's why like this whole Epstein saga that's been going on in the news, like they're not going to let it happen.
No.
If there is a release, it's going to be a very controlled. It's going to be very. It's going to be to placate those who just won't be quiet about it, and then then they can say oh no, yeah, we've released everything we got. This is what you wanted, and this story is over. When
Yeah.
it's far from over, and we will never know, because and what's even worse is like the stuff that the files or whatever, videos, whatever the evidence, whatever we had, that's been long gone. Like that's one thing that people that you that's just gone. It's either it didn't exist, or if it did exist, it's been deleted, gone. It's been so far removed from flash to bang that there's no way to even know anything outside of whatever they've said. Or we'll keep this, so if we do need to release it, we can say, hey, this is what we found out.
Yeah. Well, dude, I mean, they did the exact same thing when they released that Epstein Netflix documentary.
Mm-hmm.
They chose maybe 3 celebrities that they really wanted to nail with that documentary on Netflix, and then Epstein. But no one else. There was hundreds of people implicated in this, and none of them showed up in that documentary. It was just the whoever pissed off the world order that day got put in the documentary, and all the other information was suppressed. And I think that's exactly what they're going to do if they release any files, and who the hell knows if those files are even going to be the accurate files anymore, or if they're just completely manipulated at this point.
Well, and then today, Thomas Massey came out and said that if we don't see individuals being, perp walked into jail, then it's just another cover up.
That guy gives me a little bit of hope. I'm not gonna lie. He's pretty cool. He's pretty cool.
Everyone hates him, so he's the good guy.
Yeah, that's what you got to look out for.
Yeah, it's the Republicans hate him, Donald Trump hates him, the Democrats hate him. So we like you. We have to like you. You must be doing something. Either you're way off base, or you're onto something that we don't even know about, man.
Yeah, when he's the singular vote that's voting down something, I'm cool with that. That sounds like a pretty cool dude. But I mean, you never know.
The interesting thing is, for the vote from Congress on releasing the Epstein files, it was 427 to 1, and the one person that voted against it is the dude from Louisiana that has that real thick Louisiana accent. I can't think of his name. But it was...
I have no idea.
Let me see if I can find him real quick. But
not Lindsey Graham.
No, it's not him. I know who you're talking about. I can see his face, but it's just one of those why did
Clay Higgins?
Yeah. It's why? You know what? Actually, I know exactly why. It wasn't the play to do, but it's you can say, just have the meme of, I voted no for that. I was the one person out of the 0.5% that said no.
Yeah.
It's like those Democrats from way back in the day. It's I voted against invading Iraq. you know.
Mhm.
I'm like,
It's like,
okay,
cool, you're the
All
two
right.
people that did, because
Okay, dude.
everyone.
Wow, I'm doing my part.
Yeah.
You know?
Such a great
What's
movie, man.
so what's that?
God.
What's that other congresswoman that they just were releasing that she was actively texting Epstein during like
Mhm.
a hearing,
Yeah, James
and he
Comey.
was
Hmm.
yeah, and she was getting like information from Epstein about like how like about was it for Trump, wasn't it? And
Hmm. Yeah, it's
like
like ask him this, ask him this. Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
and it's insane that one happened, two that we know about it, three her way of excusing it away is like, I hear from all my constituents, and he was my constituent, and we didn't know he was a pedophile at that time. We're like, well, let's turn on the rewind tape, and then you look, it's like, well, yeah, he got convicted in like 2018, and this hearing happened in 2019. So
Yeah. Well, and
crazy.
dude, the crazy thing is they're all still there right
yeah,
now
Mhm.
in DC. You know,
Yep.
after Ruby Ridge, after Waco, after all of these other atrocities, they are all still there. That's my issue with the whole thing, with voting, with everything else, is that, you know, those people who commit the most heinous crimes known to man are still operating things at the highest possible level in our government, you know?
Mhm.
So that's a
my
not
my hot
great
take,
thing.
my buddy and I were talking about it on a run today. um we saw a shining example of what happens when the government does nothing for 45 days.
Life goes on.
Yeah, it was mint.
Nothing happened. Like, outside of the people that, outside of the, social programs that rely on government, outside of the like outside of like a ton of different things, like life went on and everything was generally okay.
The
So
skies were clear, you know?
yeah.
Mhm.
So what did we learn over the past month?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And, you know, a lot of people were worried about airlines and, you know, air
Mhm.
traffic controllers and all this type of stuff. I flew to and from Orlando, no problems.
Now I will say I feel bad. So I talked with a couple TSA agents during the shutdown, and there's like, I haven't got paid. We're doing this because if we don't, we get fired, and then we get nothing.
Mhm.
And then the funniest one I was talking to is like, well, I got paid a little bit since he's like, I'm part of the union, and the union, since since this entire thing is going down, they decided to help us out by, one, not charging us a union fee this month, and two, give everybody else an extra $30 to help offset costs. So good job, TSA union.
$30.
$30.
30
Actually,
bucks is 30
it was like
bucks.
it was like $80 total, because it's like 50 for the monthly membership plus an extra 30 just to help us off some costs. So yeah, I do my part.
Exactly.
Would you
Oh,
like to know more?
yes, exactly, man. I love that movie.
It's
I,
a banger.
I will say that if I love the movie, but if they were to remake that movie and make it a little bit more true to the book, I'd be down for it.
Yeah.
100%.
Mm.
100%.
Rico, you know
mhm.
what to do. The fucking one-liners in that movie, dude,
Yep.
are just
Yep.
are
Team
just
Dizzy.
awesome.
Team Dizzy for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Real quick, Joe, I found that reel and I sent it to you.
Oh, sweet.
It's gonna
I
be
will.
it's gonna be freaking awesome. I got I did watch it because it has like subtitles and or closed captioning, whatever. And I was a little off on it, but I got the gist of it anyway. So,
Yeah.
but also we need to start wrapping this up.
Yeah,
Yes,
We're
sir.
it's
over
starting to rain in
2000.
my truck, and it's getting really cold.
Oh yeah, for sure. So, but Joe, tell us where we can find you.
You can find me on my YouTube channel, Firearm Freedom, and also Instagram, which is just firearm_freedom. Those are the two places that I'm the most active, but by far my main thing is my YouTube channel, Firearm Freedom.
Yep. And then you got your B channel as well.
I do, yes. My B channel, FF Lifestyle, labor of love. Not a whole lot of subscribers there, but it's interesting and different content.
Yep.
I did want to mention, like, sometime with this podcast, since we're closing things up on that B channel. Hey, congratulations! Welcome back to the Catholic Church, my friend.
I appreciate
and
it.
That was a cool one to watch. So if for those who are listening that are even like remotely like Catholic curious, go watch that one at least. It's a good story.
It is. It was. I did not know how that one was going to be received, but that's the beauty of the B channel is you never know what I'm going to post over there. It's always like a totally random video.
That's cool. All right. Any final thoughts before we get out of here?
That's all I got, man.
Okay. All right. Jefe, what do you got, man?
So I know we talked a lot about conspiracy theories. We talked a lot about, government distrust. It's really easy to get bogged down on stuff and get black-pilled and everything like that. But I just the silver lining about this is you can go to gunzonedeals.com and buy a TRP operator, and it'll fill that hole, that void in your life. So go frivolously buy TRP operators. Let them know that this is a very popular item, and yeah.
And to go off that, it is now factually proven that 45 ACP cures all ails and will stop any conspiracies from furthering.
Hold on. I'm gonna author note. Purchasing it is what it is. Don't do the AI thing where we say 45 cures loneliness, and because of that thing, of the 988 thing. So just 45 is fun to shoot. Go enjoy life, and
and also, I'm just reading on this Wikipedia page that actually was not nuclear warheads that got fired up into the atmosphere during Operation Fishbowl. It was indeed one GI with his standard issue 45.
Okay,
ACP.
someone
1911.
You need to fucking.
I was like, wait a second. We're trying to close this up. You're still reading?
You guys can read?
It was only 145 ACP, brother.
Yeah, it's hilarious. Well, the last thing that I'll say is just kind of get everybody to scratch their head a little bit, think about it a little bit. We've talked about space, and if space is a vacuum, who empties the dustbin?
Solid.
Yeah, come on, Jefe. I know you've got something.
I'm just my much like my patience right now for your like. I'm all for bad jokes. Do not get me wrong. I just know in the heart of my hearts that you've practiced that so much in the mirror in the past 2 days, and then you tested it on Nan and everyone and you drop it on this channel like it's off the cuff humor. So
okay, well, first off, I don't practice it in front of the mirror, but I do send it to some group text messages that I'm involved in, and I will tell you that no one laughed at that one. So
it's on par. Good.
Yep, it's on par. But with all that being said, we're going to go ahead and get out of here. We do appreciate everybody swinging by. I will have all of Joe's information down in the comments or description of this podcast, so you can swing by and check that out. Please give him a follow, not only on his main YouTube channel, but on his B side as well. The FF Lifestyle is actually pretty interesting, just to kind of see behind the scenes of what Joe does outside of firearms. So with all of that being said, we're going to go ahead and get out of here. Thanks again. We'll catch you guys next time. And don't forget to live, laugh, and LARP. Bye, y'all.